All right, ladies and gentlemen, just pulled up in front of my next service call. We have an existing residential client. We've been here a couple times over the last about 4 or 5 years. Customer's complaint is that central air conditioning is not blowing cold. Customer requested a phone call when we're on the way there, and I totally didn't see that. I just marked it as I was on my way. Nonetheless, he just saw me in the front of his house, and I got to follow my golden rule, and that is to be ringing the front door within 60 seconds upon arrival. There's nothing worse than having a customer waiting for the guy to get dressed, get off the phone, finish his cigarette, which is totally unprofessional, and not respecting their time. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen. When you pull up in front of the customer's house, by the time you pull up till you get to that door, 60 seconds max. How you been?
Good, not too good. How you doing? Got a new set of tenants in. They turned on the AC the other day. The air's blowing, but it's not cold at all. So I'm thinking maybe, I know like when I was looking at my records, the last time we put in the refrigerant was like in 21.
Hopefully you don't need that.
Hopefully.
It's very expensive now. Hopefully you don't. All right, let's go, go to the thermostat, make sure the filter's clean, all that good stuff.
Give me a second. Let me get the bag.
Yep. Folks, seems like I want to kill somebody now.
Yeah, man. Come here, look at them.
Old bark, probably. No bite. Yep.
Oh, good.
Killer put away?
The funny part, it's the puppy, not the big one. The dad.
Let's go to the thermostat.
Yeah.
This one right here?
I take the light bulb out.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't feel any movement of refrigerant, so let's go check outside.
Hold on.
The trap is clear. Okay.
Yeah, ever since you put in that,
Yeah, we did that a few years ago for you.
yeah.
Yeah, ran that line outside because it was all like clogged up, whatever. It's an old unit.
Yeah, but I thought we replaced the motor a couple years ago.
Motor? Okay, may have. That doesn't mean it's not an old unit. Let me ask you a question. If you have a 30-year-old car and you put a new transmission in it last year,
Still a
is it a
30
year-old car?
Still a 30
It's
year old.
still a 30-year-old car. Let me get my tools and see what's going on with this. All right. I wonder if you can hear that. You hear that? Geniuses. Fucking geniuses, I swear. Ooh. Hear that hum? I hear that hum. Let me get my voltmeter out. Watch this. So I got my voltmeter on one of the incoming lines of power. See that? There's L1 and L2, or L1 and L2. 110 volts on each side. Watch this. Wait for it. It's gonna try to start up. She looks a little swollen too. There it is. Compressor. Almost getting 70 something amps of power. Let's measure that again.
It's always a lesson when if I'm calling you out.
That's correct.
There's certain things.
Look at that. 73 amps is trying to start. Let's check the other one. So when's the last time it was working? Do you know?
Last season.
Gotcha.
But I also had an asshole tenant who ran it 24/7.
Nice.
Yeah,
See, it's trying to start.
For a year.
Wow.
So.
Why so long? This is Nassau County, St. Queens?
No, apparently the judge I dealt with thinks it's Queens.
Voltage there. Voltage there. What do you want to bet this is good?
We'll go $1.
$1 is good?
$1 is good.
Okay. All right, so it's a 45.5, and you are at nothing. Nothing. Sheet kaput. All right, the new capacitor is installed horizontally. I have my compressor wire on the Herm, the brown wire from fan on the fan terminal, and the red wire on our common. And I did it that way because this red wire is a little too short when I had it installed vertically. Let's hook up our voltmeter to read amperage and fire up, see what happens. Let's see if she'll start. And she's running. Beautiful. All right, let me get the blower and clean out all the debris in here. Trees growing up in this bad boy. Look at that crazy. Trees. Oh yeah, you can't make that up. It's a tree branch. Oh my God. Just when you thought you've seen it all. Okay. All right, I am not the contractor that hooks up their refrigerant gauges to every system they work on, unless we suspect there's a problem. So right now I'm setting up my digital psychrometer. We're gonna take an ambient temperature reading of the outdoor temperature. If it works, 55 degrees, 66, 68, 54 degrees. Supply.
Before you were back on with the AC guy.
Okay, you ready for a diagnosis?
Yeah.
And an estimate? Okay, great. I've completed a quick diagnosis of the system, including the temperatures of the system, meaning the temperatures that it discharges out of the vents, the temperature that's sucking into the system, which is called the return temperature, the outdoor temperature, and the discharge temperature on top of the system. I am not the kind of tech or HVAC guy that's going to hook up their gauges to your antiquated system. Because every time you do that, you risk taking something out, and your system is so old that the refrigerant that replaced Freon has also been phased out.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. So unless I suspect there's a problem with the flow of refrigerant in the system, I'm not going to touch it. But what I did verify when I got here is that the system turns on, which means it gets proper power. The outdoor unit, the compressor was really trying to start, and it was hitting around 70, 72 amps of power per line, but it wasn't turning on. Neither was the fan outside. I checked the voltage out there, and I found that the capacitor, or the dual capacitor for the fan and the compressor, was shot. And it was inside of a box. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. That is, but for testing purposes, I put a new dual capacitor in, and then the system turned up. My amperage is where it should be, around 7 amps of power, which corresponds to what it's rated for. The system is old. The coil is flaking away and starting to degrade. You know this, because it's not nothing new. But your system is still alive.
Right.
And it's cooling. You know, the temperatures coming out of the one vent I checked is 54 degrees. It's 68 degrees here. It's 55 outside, and it's blowing out 65. So we're about the 10 degree mark that it's trying to get rid of, and it matches. So again, it's a rudimentary approach of checking, but like I said, I don't like hooking up my gauges to a system unless I suspect there's a problem. And the only problem here you had was an electrical issue.
Okay.
And the electrical issue was resolved by a new capacitor.
Okay.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is how you explain a proper diagnosis and what you did to reach that conclusion of the dead capacitor. Thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one. Be well, God bless, stay safe.